Hi, this is Billy here with a U.S. News Flash Update. Today is March 28, 2024, time about 9 a.m., episode 153. New information on the T Attack USA number 1 and information about the upcoming T Attack USA number 2 scheduled for April 8th, the day of the eclipse. Some of my sources are God in the Bible, Patriot subscribers, Benjamin Fulford, who has a recent interview with Scott McKay, Real Raw News, plus. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, we know that on March 26 at 1:38 a.m. in the morning that there was a collision between a Singapore ship, the MV Dolly, with the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore, Maryland, and it has been picked up by the truthers as most assuredly being some type of T attack. Now we have information to corroborate that and to put forth that the culprits are inside our gates and are part of the evil and corrupt federal U.S. government. According to Real Raw News, 6:30 a.m. on March 26, and we know this is when the JB group came out and said, no T attack, no T attack. And yet, the NTSB had just obtained the black box to the Dolly on March 27. Now this, a snippet of a phone conversation heard between an NTSB male representative, and I make that point because the leader of the NTSB is currently female. So this was a male with the NTSB, the National Transportation Board, with the Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, who Pete Buttigieg is screaming, unmanned, no bridge crew, apparently during the planning by multiple U.S. federal agencies, including the NTSB and the Transportation Secretary. No one told Pete that there would be no crew on the ship. So that's going on. And now we have this, the official NTSB report today coming out, March 28, that there are leaks coming from the ship and that this includes corrosives, lithium batteries, flammables, and that, the crew of 22 is okay. It's an Indian crew, but they're still on the ship, and they're not going to be able to get off of the ship until the debris is cleared. And I thought that odd that they included that in today's report, but not so odd when you come back to the first information I put out. No crew. It was unmanned. No one on board. So the ship obviously was remote commanded through its computers. So that's going on. So we see the first T attack on USA has been put forth inside our gates. I've been saying for some time our number one enemy is inside our gates, and now we have proof of that. Now, T Attack USA number 2 is coming up and that's going to be on the day of the eclipse. This intel comes out from Benjamin Fulford, and it's going to involve Norway, the deep state in Norway, not the whole nation, and come out of the Arctic. It'll use Arctic technology to attack the U.S. on April 8. And we, the people, have been seeing these bizarre preparations by the U.S. federal government for April 8 eclipse, sending special forces out who were trained in a nuke event, and warning about communications going down. And oh, yesterday communications did go down inside bank cards and also credit cards, Visa and MasterCard. I experienced that myself yesterday afternoon along the South Texas coast where I live. Kroger had to go to no cash. Kroger had to go to only cash across the nation because cards would not work. But they also were not working at other multiple locations across the nation. So I don't know the status of that today. But I believe that's part of the preliminary juicing up of this second attack on the American people on April 8. I believe it's going to be much larger and possibly include neutron or nuke bombs set off, aided and abetted by internal agents in our evil and corrupt U.S. federal government. Now, does that include everyone in the government? No. Are there some evil people who are operated by the deep state inside the U.S. government? Absolutely. That includes JB. But we know he's an actor wearing a mask. We now believe his handler is Obama. And so it goes. So now this second attack on the U.S. To be put forth under the cover of the eclipse on April 8 is to come out of Norway and use Arctic technology. Now, Norway, you may recall, I put out reports a year and a half ago when La Palma, and La Palma here is Africa, La Palma, and the U.S., the deep state operating a HARP out of Norway was trying to juice up La Palma Island to then produce a tsunami to take out the East Coast. The White Hats at that time then cut lines underneath the ocean to take down the deep state in Norway's HARP apparatus. So we see things being in place. So a heads up, the T attack on the Francis Scott Key Bridge, March 26, was put in place internally from our own U.S. government. It involves the NTSB, the Secretary of Transportation, not JB, he's an actor wearing a mask, but other players. And now these other players have a second massive attack planned during the eclipse, possibly to involve HARP or directed energy weapons. I'm not sure what Benjamin Fulford's information about Arctic technology involved, but a heads up, this concludes my flash. And I believe God, President Trump, the majority of the U.S. military are right on top of all this information after all this intel came to Benjamin Fulford. So we say, may God bless America. I love you, and I'll see you soon.